About this. Talk about this damn movie. Ooh.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. What's going on?
So, thank you for joining us today. I know we missed last week. Life be lifing, but
Right.
we're doing Halloween 2018. I got my Halloween shirt on.
Man.
In the spirit.
Yeah.
So I was excited to talk about this movie because I enjoyed it out of
Yeah.
the trilogy, but of course, I have thoughts.
hmm
You know how I am.
Of course.
So to talk about this movie, we kind of have to go back a little bit and talk about the conceptualization of this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
So Danny McBride was from Pineapple Express, like pretty much most of Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen's movies.
Oh yeah.
Was one of the writers, and they decided they were going to do a new trilogy. So John Carpenter came back to do the score. They got Jamie Lee Curtis back on board.
Yeah.
And this is a direct sequel from one. So all the other movies in between after one don't count.
And that's what really threw me off. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Because this was like 2018, right? When this one came out, I had a very hard time grasping that this is a direct. Because I was like, didn't she die? Like, I had such a hard time really getting on board with this Halloween that was a sequel from the very first one back in the 70s. And I think that's why I didn't watch it at first. Like, I didn't watch that movie until maybe like a year later because I just did not, like, it went right over my head and I was not interested in it at all. But once I finally did watch it, it was actually worth the watch. It was
it's pretty good.
Watch. Yeah.
It's pretty good. So we catch up with Lori after all these years, and she is a recluse. And all she does is shoot guns and like disaster prepare.
Yes.
For Michael to come back. She's got like trap sets, she's got cameras, she's got kill switches for everything, she's got a shooting range in the back. She's not playing. She's like, every year she goes to this around Halloween, and she is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because of all the trauma that she's gone through. So like she drinks a lot. Find out that she has an adult daughter.
Yep.
And a granddaughter and a son-in-law.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
And her daughter wants nothing to do with her, especially this time of year, because
oh my gosh, she goes crazy.
Yeah, all her life.
Yes.
She's been preparing for this Uncle Michael that she's never met. It's never happened. She's like 40 and she's like, it's never happening. It's not going to happen. I'm so sick of her.
Right.
And the only person that's like kind of on Lori's side is her granddaughter.
I know, right? I thought that was cute. I thought that was kind of cute.
She's like, grandma's crazy, but she's grandma,
right.
And her granddaughter has a boyfriend and a couple of friends, and they're preparing for this Halloween dance that night. And then you see there are some podcasters that are going to Smith's Grove Sanatorium where Michael's been held. So apparently Michael got arrested literally that night.
Yeah.
He did his killing spree as an adult.
Yeah.
So if you remember the first Halloween, he went to Smith Grove as a child.
Yep.
He broke out.
Yep.
And he killed a bunch of people on Halloween. And apparently he got arrested that night. So he's been locked up this entire time.
Okay. Yep.
He never got away. So these podcasters want to go to Smith Grove to like interview him.
Why?
Right?
Why?
And they go and like it's this big ass courtyard and they're like chained to like bricks and to get some fresh air.
Yeah.
And
it
like,
was very sad.
You only see Michael from behind and he's like old. Like he's gray and he's got a wrinkly neck. Like his arms are wrinkled. Like he's just old. And they're trying to talk to him. And he has another doctor. So instead of Dr. Loomis, since Dr. What's his name? Daniel Pleasance isn't with us anymore. It's not Dr. Loomis, it's Dr. Satorian. And they bring out this man's mask and hold it in front of his face.
Why? Like, there were so many why moments in this scene where it's like, what are you?
Yeah, like they're talking to him and he's like not reacting at all, but they hold up that mask and he starts like gripping his hands together and like he wants to get out.
It gets intense.
Yeah, like
it got really intense.
The mission is clear.
Yes.
When he sees that mask. So they like leave and they end up putting all these inmates on a bus and they're going to transport them because they always do.
Of course. Get them all riled up and then we got to move them, you know?
Yeah. And the bus has an accident and Michael gets out, right?
Yep. Too easy.
Yeah. Michael gets out and he trails the podcasters like to this gas station and he like kills them. Like when he killed the dude like way too easy. But then like the lady's in the restroom and she sees the footsteps and like the bathroom door crack and then he like drops the guy's teeth on her.
Right? I was like,
yeah, like this Michael is just like brutal. Like he's just jacking people up.
Yep. Brutality.
So, you know, he's on his way back to Haddonfield.
Yep.
So the majority of the movie is pretty much like waiting for these two things to collide. Like, you know, Michael's out. Lori's going to find out Michael is out and they're trying to, you know, make them collide.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that suspense and that build up to this, like this showdown that we're going to get.
Yeah. Because the podcasters went to try to talk to Lori too. And she was like, I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. So Lori finds out because she has a police scanner in her car. She talks to the sheriff, which was a deputy during the first one who she went to school with.
Okay.
The older, balder gentleman, the one that she has a crush on, and has a crush on her. That guy.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, you know, you need to calm down, Lori. It's gonna be okay, blah blah blah. And she hears that shit. He escaped on a police scanner, and she is on the like. She immediately goes to the restaurant.
I mean, her daughter is ass. Like she hauls ass to get there. Like she been preparing for this like all her life. Like since
and then. Like her granddaughter's boyfriend is there and they're trying to have a nice family meal and she's supposed to come and meet the boyfriend, but she shows up drunk because she's hitting like little Nick bottles in her car.
Right? She had them tucked off.
She gets to the restaurant, drinks all their wine. And she's telling them like, look, Michael's coming. You need to do what I taught you to do. And like her daughter completely spazzes out.
Yep.
Right. And the granddaughter is like upset about this. She doesn't know what to do. She's mad at her grandma for ruining meeting her boyfriend. She's kind of like siding with her mom at this point. When I tell you this, the plot points of this movie are very like short. Like most of this podcast tonight is going to be us discussing the movie, but the actual story beats are pretty much to the point.
I mean, so much, like so quick. Like
because I mean, Michael doesn't talk, so there's not really a lot to go off of.
Right.
But the granddaughter decides she's going to the Halloween dance with her boyfriend, and they're dressed like a gender swap Bonnie and Clyde. Lori's looking for Michael. She's like, I'm going to go find him.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Michael's just killing everybody. And that continuous shot of the trick-or-treaters on Halloween night and him walking through the neighborhood and he just goes house to house killing people. Like,
that was wild. Like, that was just like,
it was just one shot.
Yeah, like, it literally, like, it was a good shot, and it just showed his path of destruction. Like, no matter where he goes, he is going to kill. Like, he's a killing machine.
Yeah, he went to one house and got a hammer, and then he went to the other house. And then when he walked in the baby room, you thought like he was gonna hurt the baby, but he like turns around and walks out. Yeah, that was a tense moment for me.
Yes, because I was like, I can't do this.
I was like, Michael don't kill kids. Please don't kill babies.
Like, he's not a baby killer.
No.
Like, come on now.
And then he goes to the other house and then like stabs the chicken in the window with the butcher knife. Like, he's just going house to house to house, just killing people.
I mean, like, he had the endurance of like, has somebody half his age. I was like, this old man ain't getting tired at all. He ain't taking a break. Like,
no. And then like it keeps switching back and forth between his perspective, Lori's perspective, and her granddaughter's perspective.
Yeah.
So her granddaughter's at the dance and sees her boyfriend making out with some girl.
Yeah.
And she gets mad and he talks about how she's always on her phone. So he takes her phone and throws it into the nacho dip.
Oh, I was so mad about that.
Yeah.
I was so mad because we know he's out. Lori know he out, and it's like, now they ain't gonna be able to find her. Like, why would you do that? Like, ooh.
Yeah, so she decides to leave his raggedy ass at the dance, and she's walking home, and one of their friends, their guy friends, was walking with her.
Yeah.
And of course he starts hitting on her, and she gets upset, and she leaves him too, and then he gets like hung up on a fence.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, this is one of my favorite kills.
It was mine too.
It was one of my favorite. It was very memorable too. I like it. I enjoyed it. I didn't like him either. I was like, get him.
I don't remember if it was before this or after this where like Lori's stepson gets killed by Michael.
Yeah.
Too, in this movie, which was like so heartbreaking for the daughter. But this guy gets strung up on a fence and killed by Michael, and like the sheriff shows up, and the doctor shows up, and they get her in the car to safety, and the sheriff gets stabbed up in the middle of the street.
Yes.
And the doctor gets in the car, and you think she's going to be safe. And then like, he puts Michael down for like a hot second, right? Like he gets him knocked out.
That's it.
And he takes his mask and he sniffs it. And he's like, I just want to know what it's like to be you. And he like puts the mask on.
Yeah, this is where I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it was like very like erotic. Like it was not like medical research. Like this man was off like this mask.
Like he's been waiting to do that. Like
and then Michael, because when you take his mask, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And he wakes up and he like stomps the doctor's head.
I know. Oh, that was brutal too.
He stomped his ass like Thugnificent and the Lethal Interjection crew.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It was a curb stomping.
Yes.
You saw it.
It was so graphic, but I loved it. I can't understand why I loved it, but it was so graphic.
Granddaughter's on the run. The daughter's on Lori's side now.
Right.
And they all convene at Lori's house. They all get there.
Yeah.
Right. And now the police are on high alert. Everybody's looking for Michael. Michael's going to find Lori.
Yep.
Okay. And they're in the house and they are doing battle.
Yeah. Oof.
Like she shoots his fingers off.
Yeah. Oh, it was crazy. Like, and I'm like, this dude is not stopping. Like,
yeah, he chokes her through the door. Like, I mean, and mind you guys, like they're old. Like they're not.
Yes, that's why I'm
both old.
What's going on here? Like y'all is geriatric. Like
Lori should at least broke a hip or something during this fight.
I know, right? But sometimes them people that be alcoholics, like they I don't understand how they don't like be brittle. Like
they had that Scarface strength.
Yes. Like that's her superpower.
She might have been doing a couple lines. I don't know.
Might have. She had to be, man.
Strong. And they're all trying to like fight Michael off, and like Lori gets stabbed in the stomach, of course. And they lure him into the basement. Well, she has this kitchen island.
Right.
And when you push it out the way, it's like a bunker.
Yep.
And they get him to come down in the bunker.
Yeah.
And Lori's daughter and granddaughter run up the stairs because they kind of like incapacitate him for a minute. They're trying to get out. Of course, he does like the foot grab and everything.
Right.
And they get him out. And then Lori's daughter she's pretending to be like really helpless in the basement with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Brings his raggedy ass down there and she lights his ass up.
Yep.
And she runs out, and then they hit that switch and the bars come across it.
Yep. It was a trap.
She's like, it's a trap for you.
Yep. I loved it. Ooh. Yeah. I really like this movie came with the suspense. Like it did its job.
And they hit all that gas and they flip that switch, and like the flames just start burning where he's at. And he's just staring at him like paralyzed. Like
he ain't moving. He
flabbergasted. I think he was more shocked that he got caught.
Yeah. He wasn't expecting that because he had been having his way since he got out and was, he had been doing whatever he wanted to. So he really was just like, you raggedy bitch.
In my mind, he was like, again, I got caught again. Like,
yep.
And they're limping out the house. and they get in the back of somebody's pickup truck. We still don't know who, but it was somebody's pickup truck. And they're driving to the hospital, and the house is going up in flames. And then you see the fire trucks come, and Lori's like, "Let it burn!"
Right?
Let it burn!
Right. Like she was going off.
And that's the end of the movie.
That's it.
15 minutes worth of plot. It was literally just getting them in the same place.
That was it.
Right. So not much of a story, but the action was great.
Yep. Had some good kills.
But I always bring myself to these two questions, and I watched it again, and I enjoyed it like I did the first time I watched it. Mm-hmm. But I always have the two questions of, was this needed?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like why?
And this is not my Laurie Strode.
Yeah. I mean, you can't put a certain Laurie Strode in our head for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And then just rewrite the whole character. But you know what but even though it's not our Laurie Strode, I felt like this was probably the most realistic one that we got.
Yes, it was very realistic of a trauma survivor.
Yeah. Which I'm like, that begs me to ask the question of, if she was so traumatized, so like one of them preppers, you know, them doomsday prepper people, why would you stay in this, not only in the same like city, state, county? I would have been out the fucking, if something that traumatic happens, I get it. She had a baby. She probably, I mean, we didn't really get to know how she came about.
They never let us know how she has these kids, right?
There was no backstory to that. But it's like, I would have got the hell out of Dodge, especially a little small town like that. Like, I would have probably went to a big city, somewhere where it's a lot of fucking people.
My big thing is, like, how does she support herself all these years?
Right, because clearly she can't work. Like, she can't function.
She had a nice house.
Exactly.
She had guns, ammunition. Like, you have to have money to be a doomsday prepper.
Yeah.
Her daughter seemed to be like, she was educated. Her daughter had a nice house, was well off. So it's like, what did you do before you retired?
And you know what? I think the writers didn't even have an answer.
Yeah, there was just a lot of missing pieces. But I have a problem because with Halloween, we keep doing this. We keep erasing movies. Mm-hmm. And I have a problem with you. Okay, if you want to take away part 2, fine. Like, in my mind, the best timeline has always been 1, H2O.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's it. Like, to me, that was the bookend. H2O was the bookend, right? And then we got that bullshit resurrection, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And Jamie Lee Curtis wanted H2O to be the last one. That's why she killed Michael Myers at the end.
That was her. I feel like that's when she was like in her prime.
That was her best movie to me.
Like, she actually did move away. She actually did
across the country.
Yes, like she
changed her name, her identity.
Yes,
everything.
Listen, that's why I was like, all right, like, even though this Laurie Strode might have, like, I feel like if we're watching the pendulum swing, the Laurie Strode we had before was one that she did everything right. And she lived this good life. She didn't become, she didn't let it define her. Swing back the other way, this Laurie Strode let it define her in the worst way possible.
Like, and I was mulling this over, like, really thinking about this, right? Like, she faked her own death. She moved to California, became a headmistress. She had her son. Her son knew about scary Uncle Mike, but like, she still was traumatized in that movie too. She was having hallucinations. She was on medication. She was having night terrors. It damaged her relationship with her son. Like, all of those things were still a thing back in the 90s. What I don't understand is why we had to scrap that whole thing, because I was fine with Laurie having the son. We could have seen what the son did in this one.
Exactly.
Why be a daughter? You could have still had a son.
Yep. Why not both? Why not both?
Like, because, okay, when you go through like H2O, right? And then before that, remember, it was she had a daughter, Jamie, and then Jamie was telepathically linked to Michael. Yeah. So then you find out this daughter isn't even Jamie.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So she's theoretically got 3 kids in Halloween universes.
Yep.
I would have liked to see what happened with her son because her son survived. I would have liked to have seen what happened with her son.
Right. How would he deal with that trauma? Would that trauma be passed on to him? Would he be able to be like, okay, I'm not going to let this define? Like, what would have been his story, basically?
Listen, they could have completely just said this is a continuation of H2O. And in my mind's eye, I feel like, okay, everything happened in H2O. She killed the wrong guy. She got sent away for a little while. And then she got sent back over the street due to overcrowding because she really wasn't a threat to anybody. Right? Yeah. And then she stays with her son because she can't work because she killed somebody. Her reputation's tarnished. And that could have been a whole thing. And then Michael comes back after her. And that could have been a continuation of all her paranoia and his with his child. I don't see why we couldn't have just done that.
It would have made for a way better story to tell. And it would have actually forced the writers to really work. Like be a good writer, because with this movie, a lot of plot points were very predictive. And I feel like, you know, Halloween is a movie that's been done. It's a franchise, you know, it is a franchise that seemingly just won't die. So it's like, you would think after all these times, all these different setups that they set up for y'all, why are we still doing this predictable plot where there's a bus crash and he escapes? Like, why are we still doing that?
I'm still looking for someone to really go into depth about the Man in Black and the Cult of Thorn. Like, there are so many ways you could have went with this.
Yeah. And
I hate to say it, but like this and that damn Spiral is why I don't like actors writing franchise movies.
Yeah.
Like, I understand you're a fan.
Yeah.
Be a fan. I don't know, contribute, produce it. Like, not trying
consult. To you can be a consultant. Like, why is that not a thing where somebody?
I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this, because I love LeBron James, Akron Strong. I love LeBron to death. I watched House Party.
Yeah. You can tell he had his hand all up and through that. Okay. And it was like, why? I feel like where they fucked up at is calling the movie House Party.
I just feel like but I'm using that as an example of like, there are movies that LeBron has solely just produced and they've been decent. But every time he puts his sticky paws on something, we get a Space Jam. I just need people to be fans. Just put up the money to see the movie you want made as a fan.
Yeah.
You don't have to write. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to be in it.
Yeah.
Just contribute what you can.
Yep. Because you're a fan. Like, I feel like, you know, as a fan.
This was fan fiction.
Yeah, definitely. As a fan, fans don't get it right. Like, fans don't get it right.
Not every time.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
not every time. Like I said, this is Hollywood fan fiction. Yeah. I think it was a solid entry. I think if they would have just left it at this, I would feel better about it. But when you watch,
they can't just never do one Halloween movie. That's where they run shit into the ground. They cannot just
like
stand alone Halloween and leave it alone. It's a Halloween will always be a cash grab.
If they wanted to like wow the pants off of people, they should have been like, we're doing one movie and one movie only.
We don't care what y'all say. We don't care how much y'all beg and plead for another movie. This is it. Because
the first one was supposed to just be one movie.
Yeah. The first one had issues. Like, we had issues with the first one. But it was okay. It was okay.
That's the thing. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. And let's keep it real. Deborah Hill wrote that movie.
Yeah. Right?
John Carpenter contributed music and directed. So let's give props to Deborah Hill. She's no longer with us. And I'm so glad people are finally figuring out that it was a woman.
Yeah.
that wrote your favorite franchise. But
that was
I digress.
Yep.
Right.
Give women the damn.
It was his girlfriend.
Yep.
Right? Okay, it was one movie. And when they made them make a part 2 was when John Carpenter was like, y'all can have this shit. I don't want this shit. Just make sure I get paid. Because he was like, it was supposed to be more than one movie. And he hates all the Halloween movies except for his.
Exactly.
This man has gone on record and I'll never forget that shit when they was asking him about Rob Zombie's Halloween and how he felt about it. Ooh. And he was like, I don't care as long as the check's clear. they've already fucked my property to hell. I don't care anymore.
Yep.
Right. So if they would have just left it here, I would have like a better feeling about it. But knowing where they took it
a left, then a right, then a left, then somebody with ADHD came in and was like,
I think this is the first time for me personally in franchise history where like they got worse with each one. Like usually it's like the first one's the best, the second one's okay, and the third one is either the better one, or the worst one, right?
Yeah.
They just was like better, worse, worstest. Like it just like
it tanked. It tanked so hard and so fast, and I'm just like, it really
like when I watched part 2, I was like, this can't get any worse. And then they were like, hold my beer,
bitch.
Evil dies tonight. Hold my beer,
man. Evil dies tonight. I just I want to know what was they in the room thinking when they wrote this movie? Like
they were trying to make it happen, like Fetch.
They wanted nostalgia, like, and I felt like that's what they were really banking on, the nostalgia, because they brought back so many characters.
Oh my god, yeah.
First one,
and the funny thing is, part 2 has more of a plot. Part 3 has somewhat of a plot.
Yeah.
Compared to the first one. And when we get into part 2, we'll definitely be able to elaborate more. But yeah, like I think this franchise, like, and I know they're gonna do another one in like 10 years. Like I just want like the first one, in all intents and purposes, wasn't perfect, but it was at least a Halloween movie.
It was entertaining.
And they're done.
It was entertaining. It was fun. It was brutal. It was gruesome.
Yeah.
We got to see an older Michael Myers. We got to see an older Laurie Strode. Like, who can hate that?
It just bothers me that they built up this whole like Laurie and Michael are going to do battle, and you find out you got to wait till the third movie for that to happen. And then on top of that, it's like, but they already did that in the 90s. I don't need to see Laurie kill him again. She already did it.
And I mean, honestly, if we being totally honest, I know we haven't got to 3 yet, but her killing him meant a whole lot more back then.
It was so lackluster.
Like, than it did now. I was just like, because you already know, like, it's still that predictability shit. We already know he's gonna die. I thought both of them was gonna die. Like,
I mean, not even that, but like the physical limitations placed on Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, let's keep it real.
Jamie Lee Curtis, the actress, is old.
And like I said, there are physical limitations there. Like, you just can't do what you did in 95, 96. You can't do what you did in 78, right? So the fight was never going to be what you would hype it up in your mind, because physically she can only do so much.
Yeah.
And a stunt double can only cover so much.
She only got so many more years. And I understand, like, she's not going to turn down a check. But at the same time, it's like,
I mean, Jamie Lee really loves her fans. She knows that Halloween is what made her a household name. So she's never going to disrespect Halloween. Like, she knows that that's what, you know what I mean? And I appreciate that from her.
Yep.
I just would have rather this been, okay, like how Radio Silence was like, hey, we're going to bring back Sydney. If she doesn't want to continue, then we're just going to pass the proverbial baton. If you have a teenage girl in this cast as her granddaughter, why not just let her go and take that? I'm sorry, but like, I really feel like Laurie should have took that long ride in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And her granddaughter should have been like, he has to die.
Absolutely.
I would have much rather followed the granddaughter than what we got when we followed the granddaughter in part 3.
Yeah.
Total waste of character development.
Yeah.
Because in part 2, she was a badass. Like in part 2, I was like, oh, okay, cool. They're going to finally kill Laurie, and her granddaughter's going to like wreck some shit.
Yep.
No, I really feel like I wanted Laurie to die in this one.
Yeah.
And if they were going to keep going, they should have just kept going with the family.
Yeah.
Because family revenge is the best revenge.
Of course. That's motivating. That really gives you a drive and push to do the thing. Do the thing that you need to do. Yep.
Like I said, I just feel like it was just so many missed opportunities. But for what we got, it's okay. It was good. It's not H2O. H2O to me is like,
yeah.
the benchmark, right?
I agree.
That was like top tier.
I agree. I totally agree.
Minus the LL Cool J thing.
It was a good moment in like history of the franchise.
It was 20 years old at that time.
Yes. So it was like, it was a thing. Like, it was very important. Now, all the ones that was in between was just god awful. But I mean, hey, even, and I know, everybody just, I know I love to hate Resurrection. I love to hate it. And you know what? I will go on record and say this. It's up there in my favorites.
I hate you know why I hate Resurrection? I hate Resurrection because it's boring, not because it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just boring. Because Halloween 6 with Paul Rudd, introducing Paul Rudd. And I want to get that on a t-shirt.
Yes.
Introducing Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Halloween 6 is bad, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because just the dumb shit that like they do, and just how like some of it makes sense, but Paul Rudd was just captivating even then.
He was. Like, he really was. He was
Paul Rudd during like Clueless era, like young baby Paul Rudd.
Yep.
So it, and Donald Pleasance was still in the movie. So like, if there was still something there, I will still watch part 6 during my Halloween marathon because it's bad, but it's a good kind of bad.
Yeah. Resurrection
is just boring.
Yeah.
Boring. The whole like AIM messenger cell phone thing is boring.
Yeah, it was a little, it was very dated for that time.
Right. The early days of like streaming.
Yes. Internet streaming, like that was thing. That was a thing.
The young kid helping them out through Messenger. Like the Michael Myers mask was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the only good parts of that movie is Tyra Banks getting killed, which I'm so mad they cut her death scene because I would have enjoyed it much more.
Yeah.
Because her bobbleheaded ass did not need to be in that. If you don't understand, I hate Tyra Banks. But I just like, she needed to go. And of course, and me and Courtney were watching this shit like months ago. And he was like, why was Sean Patrick Thomas in everything? And I was like, because he was like the Zendaya of the 90s. And he was. He really was. Like, you need a black guy, you got Sean Patrick Thomas.
A token black guy. And it's funny because he really was like the token black guy. But then on that one, what was that movie? Not Another Teen Movie?
Yes. I was just about to say that.
What are you doing here? I'm the token black guy.
Yes. And he knew it. He got to the bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hating on him.
He was not turning down a check.
He was not turning down a check. He was going to kiss all the white women, and he was going to make that money because I still, to this day, will never understand how someone sat down and said, I have this great movie idea, and we're going to get Sean Patrick Thomas in it and Julia Stiles, and it's going to be about a suburban white girl.
Oh my God.
Who's going to be black. Who?
That movie was, it has not aged well at all. It's so bad. It's so bad. Even Kerry Washington is bad. Even Kerry Washington is bad in it. Like her hair is bad.
Trying to do a black accent is like the funniest shit you will ever listen to.
Terrible. It's horrible.
Okay, the only person in that fucking movie that made any sense was goddamn Bianca Lawson, and they made her the goddamn villain.
I know, man. Why they
always just like the one person that's in the room that's like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
I'm sorry. I love white people. I do. White people are great. They contribute some great things to the world. I'm not gonna say, well, white people are bad. They're not. But if I am in, like, for instance, if we're at the Republic and I see a white girl in there doing these like 2 dance moves she just learned with a head wrap on and some hoop earrings, I'm gonna be like, who brought her?
Who's this bitch? Like, I'm looking at her like,
whose girl is this? I'm gonna be confused.
Yeah, very confused. She didn't even have like, they tried to give Julia Stiles some soul. I don't know who she talked to to prep for this role. I don't know why she even tried to do this role.
I don't know what's worse, Julia Stiles in Save the Last Dance or Jessica Alba in Honey. Like, those two are like,
like y'all not even it's just bad to watch.
Every time I watch Honey and she does that and everybody's like, yeah, she's amazing, she's a star, and I'm like,
now y'all don't see this. Like, y'all don't see through this.
And Missy Elliott literally hunting this woman down through the streets of New York.
Right.
And I literally only watch it for Mekhi Phifer.
They gave her two. They gave her both of them white women got too much of a pass.
I only watch Honey for Mekhi Phifer.
That's it. And then the other one, when it was with Lil Romeo, his little cute self, when he was all cute.
Yes.
Yes. But that was it.
That's why I like Step Up. Not trying to be funny, but Step Up's always going to be superior dance movies because they weren't trying too hard.
Definitely. Absolutely. They knew what they were trying to be, and they stayed in that lane.
Yes, but I digress. Sean Patrick Thomas was like, the chef.
Yeah.
And they had the white girl that wanted to like show her boobs. Like, just none of it made sense. But I am a Busta Rhymes stan.
Yeah, Busta. He had his
I'm still mad that he didn't come to the Wu-Tang concert. We were just talking. I still am mad at him because he would have rather been in London than in Ohio. But the point is, I'm a stan.
Yeah.
So I don't care what anybody says. He was funny in that movie, and that was like fine ass Busta Rhymes. That was like young Busta Rhymes with the dreads and the mustache.
Yes. Where he had a neck, like because as he started getting older, his neck just disappeared. He had a neck. He was fine. He had the hair. He
had the leather pants on.
He wasn't the best acting.
No.
But he acted like Busta, like how I was.
I mean, Busta Rhymes' best movie is always going to be Samuel Jackson Shaft. Like, that was peak Busta Rhymes. But I'm just saying, like, people act like this man didn't just have a script. Like, he made it up on the fly. No, like, they gave him a script. He just did what he was supposed to do.
Yep.
Right.
He did it. He did the damn thing. I love
like LL Cool J was in the one before it, and he was like, I'm gonna get this check too.
Get a check. I'm here for everybody getting a check. Because that's all it is. At some point when they can't bleed, I felt like when Resurrection was out, they had bled the Halloween vein dry. So they just had to throw in some new people that we know, a well-known rapper, because we got to have.
I don't care what anybody says about Resurrection. Seeing Busta Rhymes cuss somebody out in a Michael Myers mask is top tier comedy. If you watch Resurrection from a comedic standpoint,
it's great.
It's fine, but it's not good.
Yeah, not good at all. Not good at all.
And it's
so bad that is good. That's one of those where it's so bad that is good. Like,
the sad part is, as bad as Resurrection is, it's still not as bad as Halloween Part 3 from this new trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. But we'll leave that for another day. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. There were some holes.
Yeah.
But for what they did for trying to bring it all full circle, I give them kudos for it. It's not easy. I'm not sitting here saying I could write a movie. I'm just saying, as somebody who's watched a lot of these movies, as quote unquote these people had as well, I would have thought they would have went through with fine tooth comb a little bit more about the story.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it wasn't hard. No. It wasn't hard for them to rewrite some certain things. But it was. I mean, I will give them kudos. They did it. It wasn't.
I enjoyed the brutality.
I enjoyed the brutality. I enjoyed just the suspense of leading up to like boom, 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 and we see like we know that it's gonna be some type of showdown.
Yeah.
And me personally, finding out that shit was a trap for him.
Yeah, that was the best part of the movie.
Chef's kiss. That was chef's kiss. I
mean, not trying to be funny. Like, another part of the movie that really was like a hard sell for me that I didn't enjoy was I really hate and I like Judy Greer as an actress. Right? Yeah. Like, people hate the movie Cursed, the werewolf movie with Christina Ricci and what's his name?
I don't know his name. I can't remember his name.
Jesse Eisenberg, right?
That's his name?
Yes, Jesse Eisenberg.
Is.
Right, playing the brother. Like, everybody hates that movie. I think it's fucking hilarious. Okay. Mm-hmm. I loved her in that movie. Mm-hmm. I love Judy Greer. I love Judy Greer in Jawbreaker.
Jawbreakers is where I really liked her. She's
a phenomenal actress. And in this movie, she just came off as annoying.
Yeah.
And I've never seen like that part. Like, she's never been an annoying person. Like, even in Jawbreaker, right? Like, Fern could technically be annoying.
Of course. Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, Fern was very annoying, right? But like, it didn't make me dislike Fern.
Yeah, like she was written to be annoying.
Yeah, like she showed up on the scene annoying, and then she got more annoying. Like Fern was an annoying ass character.
For sure.
But it didn't make me dislike Fern. It made me just be like, damn, Fern, get your shit together. Like, I really disliked her in this movie. Like, she was just whiny and like annoying, and like
she kept going on and on and on about her childhood, and that's where the writing kind of was like weak, because it's like, we don't know your childhood, bitch. Like,
they didn't give her any type of like character arc or redeeming qualities outside of being like,
it was,
I hate my mom, she's crazy,
right? Because we stand Laurie Strode.
We're on her side.
Yeah, we don't know you, bitch. We know her. So like, cool it. You need to cool it on your mama. Like,
I don't even remember them going like, she didn't even have like a real in-depth like monologue flashback, like that one thing that broke the camel's back. No, it was just, I got tired of her teaching me how to shoot guns and shit, and I wanted to be normal. Like, she just came off really annoying. Mm-hmm. Now her husband, hilarious. Yeah, I was sad when he died.
Yeah, I didn't think family. I didn't think that was fair. I didn't think that was fair.
He was trying so hard to protect his wife. Yeah, and he died, and I did not think that was fair, because I love that man. Everything he's in, anything he's in, he's fucking hilarious. And he was a goofball. And I know a lot of people didn't like his character because he was, it seemed out of place. Yeah, but I thought he was like a bookend.
He bounced her off, like
a bookend. Like, you got this sense of that's where the daughter kind of got her carefreeness from, was her dad. Yep. Because the Strode women are clearly uptight. Yep. So yeah, I did not like her character. Like, she was so like nails on a chalkboard to me. I wanted to like just take that sweater, that little Christmas sweater, and choke her with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you think that they meant to like write her character in that way, or is it just something that just happened on, like, it just, that's how it came off on screen?
I think that's just how it came forward. I think that's how it came off on screen. Like, I'm sure she was written to be like, butt heads with her mom, like most daughters would. Yeah. But it's something about her in that role that didn't mesh well. There it is. Okay. Judy Greer to me is more of like a comedic actress. Okay. Right? Everything she does, whether it be horror, dark comedies, there's always a twist of like hilarity to it. Like, even in Cursed, right? Like, she's the werewolf. Yeah. And she's giving them the finger as a werewolf. Yeah. Like, she has that special. Yeah, like when she was Fern, once Fern got cool, Fern was saying, Fern had some of the illest lines in that movie.
She did. Fern was just ugly. That was her only problem. Like, she was actually a terrible person once she got
what she wanted. She was a horrible person. She had some of the illest, like, she did some of the illest shit in that movie. So I think because Judy Greer just has that, she's that Anna Faris quality. Anna Faris can go real dark too. Yeah. Like, if you've ever seen like May, right? Yeah, like Anna Faris was pretty like dark. She wasn't super funny in that movie, right? But it's Anna Faris, so like
we want her to say something funny. Like,
she has that comedic quality. I couldn't buy Judy Greer as a traumatized daughter. Yeah. And that's the other thing. She didn't seem traumatized by her childhood. She just seemed like she just really was pissed off at her mom.
Yeah. And at that point, it's like, if she was like, if the granddaughter was saying this, then like I would expect that. But it's like, bitch, you are in your 40s. Why are you still acting like a teenager that your life is just so ruined? Like, you are in your 40s. At this point, you could have moved away. So
like, I just feel like they could at least give her like a crying scene where she broke down because of all this shit, or like her relaying some really traumatic memory she has. Yeah. Or even like the granddaughter being like, you don't know what it's like to live with her. She pretends she's so perfect and she blah, blah, blah. Like, it just did, like, maybe there was just some shit on the cutting room floor. Yeah. Yeah. But it just didn't mesh well with me. Because I feel like everybody else was like, the granddaughter was in her bag in this movie. Yeah. Rory was in her emotional bag in this movie. And then Judy Greer was just like, I'm tired of this, grandpa. That's the feeling I got from her.
Yeah. It was very annoying. It was just so annoying to watch the whole freaking time. And it's like, what was like, let me get my little tiny violin out. Cause like, come on, like
just, yeah, like there's not anybody in this movie that you could put in that's gonna make me hate Laurie Strode, and they kept doing that throughout the sequels, having people like be like, it's your fault and I hate you, and nobody's gonna be like, Laurie, you did this. No, everybody's like, shut up, bitch, it's not her fault,
right?
Because it's Laurie Strode,
right.
You're not going to make us question Laurie Strode's intentions.
Ever. Because Laurie Strode didn't ask for none of this shit. Like, she didn't ask for any of this shit. She just
out here trying to make it.
She's trying to survive. And that's at the heart of whatever Laurie Strode we're talking about, whether it's the older franchise, this newer franchise, Laurie Strode just wants to survive at the end of the day. So we're always going to be on her side. She's America's sweetheart. We're always going to root for her because she's dealt a fucking shitty hand throughout the whole franchise.
Yeah. So, I wish some things were changed, but like I said, we're looking at the meat and potatoes of what you want in a Halloween franchise. Is it going to be bloody kills? And are you going to see Michael and Laurie? Yes. If that's what you came for, it's a great movie. It's what you got. If you actually wanted them to expand upon the universe, you're not really gonna get that.
Yep. And why they don't never like show Michael Myers' like face of like,
okay, I don't need to see his face. He's the shape. Okay, no one ever needs to see Michael Myers' face. And every time they show like Rob Zombie, I hate Rob Zombie for sure. Like the first Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first one, I loved it.
Yeah,
I know everybody is not a Rob Zombie fan. I am. I know everybody doesn't like the trailer trash aspect. I do.
Yeah. Right? It was cool. It was cool. I enjoyed it.
It's nice to see ghetto white people sometimes.
Yeah.
I know everybody hates, well, I hate Rob Zombie's wife too, but I mean, hey, keep it in the fam. But what I'm saying is, even like, I can't stand Sherry Moon Zombie. Like, I think she is like the pure example of my husband put me in this movie. Right? But outside of like The Devil's Rejects and Halloween, because in Halloween, like, she really gave a good, like, she was emotional, like, she gave a good performance.
Yeah.
I like the opening scene. I like them cussing each other out. I like him beating up the bully. I liked all that. It made sense that he already killed somebody that day and was like, shit, this is easy. I'm gonna go home and kill them. Made total sense.
Yep.
Then we get to part 2, and then we got like the horses and shit. Like, it went off the rails.
Way off the rails. Like so far off the rails where I was like, all right, I'm gonna get off this train because this is like this. I don't know what this is. But
like the only part of part 2 that I was like, I'm on board with this is the fact that like Laurie ended up in an insane asylum. I was like, yeah, I can get on board with that.
Yeah,
but, like cool Dr. Loomis and them showing Michael's face and then Michael saying like talking like, no, I don't need to see.
Yeah, that was weird. It was weird because like he talking now. Like, this is crazy. This is not. I can't get used to this. Oh yeah.
But people forget that the mystique and the lore and the reason why we love Michael Myers and the reason why we love Jason is because they don't have a reason. Those are always the most fascinating type of movies because they don't have a reason or a backstory.
Yep.
Just cause. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in. Some people just do it just cause.
They're just fucked up. That's it,
That's why when they started going into like the Cult of Thorn shit, I was like, oh God, why?
Yeah.
I remember when I was old enough to understand what they were doing with those movies. It's like, why are y'all trying to make it seem like he was literally like born of the sun and the moons and they have to pass it on to the next child? I'm like, okay, like
they lost me. I'm like, y'all losing me fast, okay? And this is why I always say, this is why for some reason, even though some of the movies are terrible, Chucky can thrive. He can thrive. They can spin his shit all different kind of ways, and we still will be on board with Chucky. Like, I don't know why, but it just he is magic. Like, Chucky has magic inside his little.
I'm gonna tell you why the Chucky franchise has outlasted all of these franchises and is beloved. And I'm gonna tell you, it's very simple. It is one main contributing factor, and that's because the same person has written all of them. Whether you liked his scripts or not, he has written every single one. So he knows backwards and forwards what he did. Right? There's nobody with their hands in the cookie jar. Okay. People Love 1, 2, and 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he was like, fuck it, we're gonna do some funny shit. Came out with Bride. Everybody hates Cedar Chucky. I think Cedar Chucky's fucking hilarious.
I love it. I fucking love it.
That shit is so funny to me. I love it. I love the Britney Spears shit. Only part I don't like about it is Redman, ironically. But I love John Waters. I love everything. Like, it was just funny. Right? And then he was like, okay, y'all don't like that? All right, cool. I'm gonna make it some weird gothic shit, and I'm gonna tie all this shit together. He came out with Curse of Chucky.
Yes.
The first time I watched it, I was terrified.
Yes.
That shit scared me. I was like 25. That shit scared me. I had to call my boyfriend at the time and have him come over to my house because I couldn't sleep.
That shit was wild. It was actually scary. Like
he was
trying to be scary, and it did it. It did.
Yeah, he's like, you don't think my shit makes sense? Fine, I'm gonna write a movie and I'm gonna put all this shit in the same movie at the end, and I'm gonna bring back Andy for your ass.
Yes, crazy.
And then I'm gonna make it so much better for you since y'all want to talk shit. I'm gonna get Chucky's real life daughter to come in here and play a bitch in a wheelchair. Like, Don Mancini is the GOAT when it comes to writing his franchise.
Chef's kiss. I was happy to see his name on the Chucky series. The show. I was like,
but that's like, why like the remake was such a horrible experience for him because they didn't want him included because they had the rights to it, and he was like, fine. Like, that's literally how the TV series came out. Is because they wanted to do a remake. He was like, am I going to be involved? They said, no, you don't own it, because people don't understand that MGM owns part 1 and Don Mancini owns the rest. So they didn't want to pay him to come back and do a remake. He said, cool, I'll write my own shit. And he went and did a fucking TV series, which is going to season 3.
Long money. Long money.
It's good. It's good. And I love it.
And when do shows go into syndication? When they make it to like 4 seasons or 5 seasons?
I think it's
4
100 episodes.
100 episodes. So yeah. So when it go into syndication, boom, that's long money right there. So
like when Jennifer Tilly and Brad Dourif were like, yeah, we're not signing off on that remake. That's when the remake went downhill because they thought they were gonna be able to get them. They were like, no, we're not doing it without Don. That's our homie.
Right? I knew it wasn't gonna be the same when, for one, Brad Dourif did not with his seal of approval.
Look, I love Mark Hamill's dirty draws. Okay, that is the Joker. I love Mark. That is Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Okay, that man can do no wrong. But the one wrong he did was do this damn remake.
Yeah.
Because they got the best in the business and he couldn't make it work.
He made Brian Tyree Henry like look bad. And I was like, I was rooting for him and everything.
I really was.
I was just like, no, this ain't it.
Look, I knew when they said Aubrey Plaza was going to be the mom, I was like, yeah, this is going to be good, but I'll see it anyway. But my point is that these franchises aren't surviving because it's too many chefs in the kitchen. And Don Mancini is the only person with the spoon. That's why his shit keeps thriving.
Yep. He got this. He got the sauce. He got the recipe. You know, some seasonings.
And on top of that, he pays his actors what they're worth. No one ever complains about Don Mancini.
Exactly.
Like, my point is, right, they went so far back into the Chucky bag, they brought Kyle back. And nobody has seen her since part 2. And even she came back. And now her and Andy have their own podcast.
There we go.
Like, she back in the spotlight.
Yep. It's not easy to keep a franchise alive and well, because just because a franchise is alive don't mean it's doing too well.
But really think about this, right? Like how, and like I said, people need to take a real good look at Don Mancini's fucking pedigree, because he has kept his franchise going with the original characters, right? Literally, Andy and Chucky, his original characters, okay? Then he introduced part 2, which was Kyle, another beloved character, right? Then he introduced fucking Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly is now goated. Bro, I got the makeup collection with her face all over it. She's a part of the franchise. You cannot even have Chucky without Tiffany anymore.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. And then he gave us Glenn and Glenda, which are also in the show, which now they're a part of the franchise. Then he brought in all the new kids. Like, he is amazing at character development.
Yeah.
And people need to really take note. Like, I feel like if you want to study a franchise, study Don Mancini.
Yep. That's it. That is it. I really want him to do like a documentary.
Yeah, he needs to. They need to do the documentary like they did with the Nightmare on Elm Street and the Crystal Lake Memories.
Yes.
They need to do one like that about 1428 needs to do one on Chucky because, like I said, the man has literally had his hand in the pot. Like it starts and stops with him, and the fact that not only that, but like him being one of the first openly gay writer and directors in Hollywood and horror, and he's still standing 10 toes. Y'all not, like literally people were upset about this shit and he was like, cool, y'all want to talk shit about me for being gay? I'm gonna give you an openly gay character and I'm gonna give you some teenage boys in this TV shit series. And you're still gonna watch it.
Absolutely.
So I just feel like this the Halloween franchise, and people always say, oh, it's dead. No, it's not dead. As long as there's an IP, it's never gonna die. Someone's gonna pick it up and they're gonna say, I can do it better. That's why the franchises keep going.
And we'll see. We'll see in a few years. We'll see in about 5-10 years, like you said. They're gonna try to bring it back. A new twist. It's gonna be. I'm calling it right now. It's probably gonna be like another. Like I feel like Rob Zombie tried to do this with that whole sister thing. The other sister, the baby sister, or something.
That was supposed to be Lori.
Yeah, like I feel like they're gonna try to twist it somehow, some way.
Because now in the new universe, Lori's not related to him.
Yeah, which I'm like,
she never was, quote unquote, and apparently that she actually never was in the original either. Part 2 is when they made her the sister when she was in the hospital. A nurse says it.
Right. Right.
So they retcon that, and she's like not related to him at all.
Yeah, like
which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
They don't have to be related. It makes it a little bit more intense if they're not related.
Yeah. It gives it like it's a sexual tension or something. Like if they're not related. Like maybe that's just my mind going into the darkness.
You say that because I've watched a lot of these videos. Like, and I watch a lot of people's opinions on things because I like to see what's out there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that write these fan fictions, and like in one of these fan fictions, like Michael is supposed to like have had gotten aroused every time he killed a babysitter in the original. So it's funny that you say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can buy that. Like I can buy that angle of like him just being fucking obsessed with her just because he's like in some weird way in love with him or something. Like she's in love with her. Like I don't know. It's
crazy because like going through all these movies that I have the past couple weeks, there's these books and I need to get them, and it's called Taking Shape and Taking Shape 2, and they are unused pitched scripts over the years for Halloween sequels. And I've listened to some of them and read a couple of excerpts, and they are very fascinating. And I want to get them so I can like really like go in depth and like review them. Yeah, because they just sound so fascinating to me. I'm always fascinated by what could have been. Yeah. Because usually what we get is not my favorite. Like I'm always like that. Like when you talk about Freddy versus Jason and all those abandoned scripts, right? And the fact that the only reason why we didn't get Freddy and Jason in hell with Pinhead is because New Line couldn't get the rights to Hellraiser.
Damn. Because that was a damn good movie.
Which I would have totally loved to have seen, like Pinhead like trying to torture Freddy and Jason and not getting nothing from either one of them because they don't give a damn.
Man, Freddy versus Jason. I felt like a lot of people kicked a lot of shit to Freddy versus Jason.
There are so many scripts that would have been so much better. I'm telling you.
So much.
If you go down that rabbit hole, you'll be up to like 4 a.m. Get some coffee because you're gonna find a lot of shit that you're gonna be mad about. I bet. There's this one that this guy wrote back in like the 90s. And it so Freddy's like powerless because people don't really fuck with him. Kind of what they did with Freddy versus Jason. He kind of didn't have any juice anymore.
He got to get people to believe again. And all that.
But in this script, the kids actually were taking sleeping pills to go to the dream like world and like beat Freddy up.
Oh wow!
Like it was like a trend. And he accidentally kills one of these kids in their dreams and gets some juice back, and that's how he kind of.
Okay.
I would have loved to have seen people going down there and kicking old Freddy's ass for a few bars.
Yeah. Definitely. Ugh, that would have been good. Damn, that would have been good.
Or like when you find out in like deleted scenes from the original Nightmare on Elm Street that like Nancy actually had an older sibling that got killed, and that's why her parents were in on the shit.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, I'm so far into these, like I'm deep into this.
Wow. How you find out about this?
I watch a lot of videos. I read a lot. Like anytime I get any type of like information or Reddit, anything, I'm like on Google. Like
Okay.
I'm so like I don't be having shit to do. I'm so tuned in on that shit. Like once the baby goes to sleep, that's my me time, and I'm just reading up weird shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I want to get these books so I can get more into this Halloween franchise. Like Halloween is not my favorite franchise.
Yeah.
But I understand why it was so good.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the only horror franchise I really don't like is Texas Chainsaw, and it's just not for me.
Yeah. I do like it. I do really like Texas Chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw is one of my, it's like my big five. So
it bores. I fall asleep every.
It's definitely forgotten. It's a forgotten franchise.
I literally just finished the movie maybe like 4 years ago for the first time.
Yeah.
Now the one with Renee Zellweger, I'll watch because it's fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the remake with Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel, yep, that's my favorite.
I'm just not. I don't know. Leatherface don't do nothing for me.
I don't know. It's something about. I feel like since it's like based in some type of, like, I can believe that there's a crazy ass family in the backwoods of Texas.
Yeah, I mean, it's a composite story. I mean, it's mostly based on Ed Gein, right? Like with the Parkinson's and stuff. So like, I've watched every single one of them.
Yeah,
I do. I always watch them. I love horror. I watched the new one on Netflix.
Yep. That was terrible. Oh Lord, that was so bad.
I'm saying like I will watch it, but it's
God awful.
Yes. Like I understand why Halloween keeps going. I don't understand why Texas Chainsaw keeps going.
Yeah, because it's literally nothing new. Nothing new has been brought to, unless except for the one with Trey Songz where where that girl was like, she found out she was the family and she was the baby. It was doing too much. It was doing
she would have been like 50 years old, not 23.
Yeah, like I was
so like if you like went off of like this was in the 70s and she's 20 something, then this should have been set in the 90s, not the 2000s, and she shouldn't have had a cell phone. Like I made that man watch this movie. I was like, it's so bad you have to watch it. And he was so mad because he likes Texas Chainsaw. Yeah. But he had never seen that one. And I will never forget there are like 3 specific points where he just was like, fuck this. And that was just Trey Songz in its entirety.
Yeah, because Trey Songz was a terrible. We
should have known then.
Like
we should have known then.
Like, and this is why I say they always try to breathe life into these franchises by adding a rapper or somebody black. Like it's a token famous black. Like.
But
why did Trey Songz have to be in there? Like,
yes, the whole like welcome to Texas motherfucker, like he was done with that.
Yeah.
And there's a scene, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but if you do, you know what I'm talking about, where they are at the carnival. Mm-hmm. And Leatherface is there, and he does that run, and you see his arms do this. I don't know if you've ever seen that scene. If you ever watch that movie again, watch it. He runs into the woods and he literally does this with his arms. I don't know why this tickles this man so much. He was like, this movie is the most terrible shit I've ever seen.
Terrible. Like who greenlit this shit? Like I don't know how. Like I know it's other movies that should have got the green light versus a lot. And here's the thing about Texas Chainsaw: most of the movies are not good. So how does this franchise keep continuing? Like the one Jessica Biel was probably,
which brings me back to Halloween.
Yeah.
Why do we keep doing this if most of them aren't good?
That's what I'm saying. The stack of which ones ain't good versus the one that's good.
There are 3 good Halloween movies. That's 1 H2O and unfortunately 2018. I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Right? But like and 4, because I do love the Jamie Lloyd. I mean, I met Danielle Harris in person. She touched my baby bump.
Is that the one, Curse of Michael Myers? Which one?
That's Return.
Return of Michael. Which one was the Curse of Michael Myers with the little girl?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Return of Michael Myers is part 4.
Okay.
And then The Curse is part 5.
Okay.
And then part 6 was the Paul Rudd movie.
Okay. Yeah. 5.
I actually got to meet her. I love her.
Oh my gosh.
She got to touch my, like I said, in Urban Legend, she touched my baby bump.
Yes.
And I love her to pieces. So I'm glad that movie exists because she was really fucking nice. Yeah. But you know, I want it to end. Yeah. I want evil to die tonight.
It's not going to.
I just want evil to die tonight, bro. Like,
yeah. It won't happen. We won't get that happening. Like, I don't think Halloween is ever going to die because Halloween. Well, first of all,
it's a holiday.
Yeah, and Hollywood is running out of ideas. Like, they are exhausted with ideas, and especially with this whole writer's strike going on now. Like, writers is not fucking. They not like, you would have thought they would have learned from the writer's strike back in 07, 08.
Look,
because that fucked a lot of shit up.
I was fighting the air like Trey when that writer's strike came out because the only thing I could think of was, oh my God, Abbott Elementary. I lost my mind.
Yep. Abbott, P-Valley. I'm pretty sure I read a lot of articles about production stopping on like movies.
Yeah, it just stopped on American Horror Story, which I mean I'm not really mad about because that shit needs to go away too. Like I love American Horror Story. Like, there is actually good. Like, if you like horror miniseries, right?
It is.
Every season's a new story. If
you
can get your mind off of like it's the same actors, different characters. It's great. Yeah. Coven, Chef's Kiss, Angela Bassett, Queen.
Coven. Queen. Woo! Coven set the bar so fucking high.
Hotel with Lady Gaga. Queen.
Good.
Queen, like that made me really respect Lady Gaga. Queen.
Yeah, because she actually scared me.
She brought the vibes.
She scared the fuck. Hotel factually scared the fuck out of me.
I promise you, there are only 2 badass female vampires in this world, okay? And that's Aaliyah as Akasha and fucking Lady Gaga as the Countess. Because between them fits and the way she killed people, I was like, I want to be her when I grow up.
Yeah, she scared the hell out of me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, American Horror Story is good. It's just they're running out of ideas. Like, I got off the boat at like Apocalypse because I just was not feeling it. Even though they brought the Coven characters back, and like it just didn't work for me.
Apocalypse was a hard watch for me, and I thought, I'm like, maybe it's just my ADHD acting up. But it was just it was hard to follow. It was so hard to follow.
I got where they were going though with the whole like bringing the baby from one and like I got it. I got it. And I love Asylum too. Chef's Kiss, Jessica Lange. To me, Jessica Lange's best after Coven, because can't nobody top her as a Supreme, bro.
No,
like, that shit.
Oh no, yeah.
And everybody acts like Freak Show is her best after Coven, and for me, it was Asylum. Seeing her play the sister, she was amazing in that.
Yeah, but I enjoy Freak Show. It was all right. It was all right. I enjoyed Roanoke.
I did really enjoy Roanoke.
Roanoke was actually kind of scary too. Like I was into it, and it was actually scary.
Yeah, that shit, like the historical shit.
Yeah.
But I just feel like with this, the writer's strike might help them because they really hired Kim Kardashian. And I'm like, what are y'all thinking? Nobody wants to see her in American Horror Story.
I am not returning if she is involved.
No, a lot of people said they're off the boat. So hopefully
I am off the boat. I'm definitely off the boat. You put Kim Kardashian's name on anything, and I am off the boat, sweetie. No, keep it. I don't want to see her. I don't want to hear her. I don't want nothing to do with that white woman.
But no, I want evil to die tonight. I want Halloween to be over. So that's my thoughts on it. I say it's a solid movie if you like blood and guts. Yeah, it's a solid movie if you just want to see Michael and Laurie doing what Michael and kind of Laurie do best.
I feel like they're like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what you're getting.
We are watching a Tom and Jerry fucking episode.
Yeah, you know what you're getting. Like, you know what you're walking into. Like, don't expect them to reinvent the wheel with this one.
Yep. Yep.
And I think that was the hype around it, was like they were going to do something totally different and radical, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, they didn't do nothing. They didn't do anything different.
And then when they did do something totally different and radical, it was in like all the wrong ways.
Yeah.
In part 3, like
very
all the wrong ways.
Very much so. Very much so.
I mean, I'm gonna give it like a solid 3 pumpkins out of 5. Like, I don't hate it. I'll watch it again. Like, I've watched it like about 5 times at this point. I'll watch it again, but it's nothing that I'm like, I have to put this in my collection.
Yeah, it's about 2. It's 2 pumpkins for me too.
Just like at this stage of the game where like streaming is like Lord and Savior right now.
Yeah,
I still actively like search for DVDs.
Yes,
and this is one that I wouldn't actively go search for.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But if it happened to be on streaming and I'm like, I need something to fall asleep to, I might put that.
No, I won't. See, I don't feel like I can fall asleep to it. Like, it always like keeps my interest.
Yeah.
It like I said, it's just not what I was promised.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if you go out to breakfast, right, guys, and like they say they have bacon, but then like you get turkey bacon, like I'm gonna still eat it.
But I'm gonna be
like, promised bacon.
Yes, like I had the taste.
Yeah, like I'm gonna still eat it though, because I mean it's not bad, you know. It still tastes good. It gets the job done, but it's not.
Yeah,
what you told me. When I see bacon on the menu, I want bacon, not diet bacon.
Right.
And this to me is diet bacon.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. It definitely is in every sense of the word. Like, oh, come on.
But all right, guys, we're gonna end it here because we've been rambling. Like, that should let you know how we really feel about it, because we couldn't stay on topic.
I know, right? And we barely over an hour, so it's like,
yeah, we really do are like 2 Black queens with ADHD and mom brain. So y'all have to understand, like, we really stay on topic, it's because we really fucking love the shit.
Yes, but we wrapped this movie up in 39 minutes. I looked at the clock.
I know.
39 minutes. We were done talking about the plot, subplots, all of the shit. Then it was just describing around the bullshit around it. What
is just as bad as this movie?
Yeah. What's just as bad? Where did they go wrong? Where they can take some notes from? Like you said, Dime. They need to get Dime wrong.
I will end on a positive note before we go. David Gordon Green's cinematography, top tier in this movie. This is his best cinematography. Okay, I'm gonna say this is his best cinematography overall. Yeah, but his absolute best is that opening scene in part 2. No one can dispute that.
Oh yeah, definitely. But this nailed it. I liked just the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing him engulfed in the fire, and then we see in part 2 how that turns out.
Just like I tip my hat off to anybody who can do a continuous shot. Yeah. And I feel like in 2018, now the rest of them, not so much, but in 2018, he best captured John Carpenter's original cinematography.
Yeah. That's about as close as we're gonna get. That's about as close as we're gonna get.
Yes, he really did that shit. He captured that feeling. Like when you see Michael walking from house to house, you had that John Carpenter one take. Yep. He was king of the one takes back in the day. Yep. You had that impending doom feeling. Yes. So I will leave that on a positive note. David Gordon Green across the board, even though I wasn't a fan of part 3 or part 2, cinematography wise, he did his damn thing directing these movies.
Yes. And I can appreciate that. Yes. I can appreciate once you like get to watching so many movies and you start looking at shit, cinematography plays a part. Oh my gosh, it's such a big thing. And you know, if the cinematography ain't right, you lost a lot of people, including us, because we're visual people. So
and I feel like that's why the Halloween movies are so disjointed, because the cinematography isn't great. John Carpenter is a true director's director. Just like Rob Zombie's Halloween isn't for everybody if you're not a fan of that type of cinematography. But if you like The Devil's Rejects, if you liked House of a Thousand Corpses, you'll love the Halloweens he did, because it's the same cinematography.
Same. I mean, it's copy paste. Like he has a style.
Yeah, he has his own style.
I like that Rob Zombie has his own style. I like his style. I don't like some of his movies, but I like his style in like how he directs things. I really enjoy his work.
Will stand behind his original Halloween remake.
Yeah.
I still think it was a solid remake.
It was a solid story. It was a very solid story.
It was because it was him that did it.
It was dark. It was so dark. And I think
it's because Rob Zombie did it is why it's not well received. Because
it's Rob Zombie. Because it's Rob Zombie. You know what I'm saying? Like his name just, you know.
You love him or you hate him.
You know. And
but like I said, I tip my hat off to David Gordon Green. He did a great job of cinematography and directing. I have no complaints about him as a director. And that's where I stand with it.
That's what's up. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you.
With our 3 subscribers.
Watch our other videos. Especially this. I feel like I'm most proud of our Swarm recap. Like that is the one I like. It's up there. It's chef's kiss to me.
Yes, and if you only really care about the Scream content, I did make a Scream playlist.
Yes.
I'm going to be making playlists for whatever franchises we talk about moving forward. So if there's a particular movie that you just want to hear about, you can go right to the place right now.
Yep.
Because we didn't have the back footage of the original Scream.
Yeah.
The only ones we have right now are 2 through 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check those out on the playlist, and there's more to come. And I'm excited. We've got 3 subscribers. We got some like 20 views. I'm so excited.
I mean, that's where it starts. It starts with just us being consistent, and YouTube push it out there like, hey, look at this, and we got content that you can just walk around the house and binge. So
yeah,
that's what's really important.
And I am not tech savvy, so to figure out how to like port this shit over, I felt really proud of myself.
Girl, I'm glad you did it because I just have no. My brain it turns to mush.
Oh, it took me like a full like 6 hours to port.
Certain technology, my brain is turning to mush, and I'll be like, I'm gonna just go to bed and I'm gonna close my laptop and just go to bed.
No, I figured it out. The baby on my hip and all, trying to push buttons, but I figured it out.
Good. Yep. So next week, we are going to be talking about part 2, Halloween Ends. Is it Halloween Ends? Is that the one?
Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills. That's it. Yep. Halloween Kills.
The night, in fact, evil did not die.
Evil dies tonight.
No, it didn't. No, it did not.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I wish I could have been in a fly on the wall in the writer's room when they really said this shit. Like, you know what we're going to keep having people say? Evil dies tonight.
It was fine the first like 3 times.
They ran that shit to the ground.
I was fine in the bar, but when we got to the whole hospital, like, we'll talk about it next week because you already know I'm gonna say some mean shit. I can't help myself.
Yes, we're gonna get to that next week. So drop a like, drop a share this with somebody you think will hear it.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Comment, even if it's just like if you listen to us. Comment with a pumpkin.
Yes.
Okay. Give us some. That's gonna be our thing.
Comments and criticisms are welcome. You just might be cussed out back. I don't know. I mean,
just like we critique, you can critique us, and we gonna critique the right the hell back.
Critique us, and we will critique your ass right back.
For sure. Like for sure. Like
that's the thing. We're not major, y'all. We ain't got no money to lose, so we'll just cuss you back out.
Right. I mean, we don't have no sponsors to lose, y'all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, if you really want to take it there, just be prepared because we're not nice.
Right. Oh, man.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm a Virgo. I don't know what to tell y'all. I can't. So try your luck. Spin the wheel. Evil may not die that night.
Right.
But you're gonna die in those comments.
Your feelings will definitely be hurt in those comments. Like, cause we attack. We like the hive. Like we will really like attack your ass. So
yeah. Like this stage of the game, we'll probably clean it up the better we get. But like as of right now, where this is still fresh and we're really trying our best and squeezing in between our families and responsibilities. Yeah. Don't come in here on no BS. Like if you got something mean to say, you better put an LOL after, or I'm not gonna take it well.
Right. For real. For real.
You can call me fat all day. Just put LOL at the end of it.
Right.
It's fine.
All right,
you guys. Thank you so much for listening to us and giving us a chance to entertain you this evening.
That is a wrap.
And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.